Welcome back to Coco Caliente, where it's a mother and daughter production where we talk about everything and nothing all at the same time. I'm Nicole.
And I'm Jeni.
And my mom's going to do most of the talking. Got my wisdom teeth removed yesterday. I'm doing pretty good, but it kind of hurts to talk.
Yeah, I'm actually babysitting right now, but I'm not babysitting Arrow. I'm babysitting Nicole.
Yep.
I was talking to her on the phone this morning, and Victor's like, me and Arrow are going to go. I'm going to take Arrow to Bad X, and we're going to do some shopping and stuff. And I heard Nicole's like, I want to go too. And then Victor's like, well, we're going to get some Valentine's stuff for you. That's going to defeat the purpose, but you can go if you want. She's like, well, no, I'm kind of, what'd you say? I'm kind of lightheaded. I don't really want to walk around stores. And I said, I'll babysit her. And she goes, yeah, take me to my mom's. My mom will babysit me.
I got really excited.
And then when she got here, she comes in and I'm like, well, we should just do the podcast since everything's still sitting here on the table. She's like, oh, okay, well, let's get it done so you can babysit me.
Yes, so that's exactly true.
So anyways, so how did the wisdom teeth, how'd everything go yesterday?
It went good. It was really, I was scared, but then there was really nothing to be scared of. It was so fast. It was like 23 minutes. I don't remember like anything. Actually, today I'm like, what am I supposed to be doing? So I'm trying to read the paper and ask, I had a really awesome, like assistant nurse. I don't know what she was, but she called me back and she was super comforting. So I was really good. My heart rate was like 70 something. My blood pressure was really high, like 150s because I was stressed. And then right when they were putting the IV and I knew I was going to sleep, I could feel my heart going crazy and the machine was making a noise. So I know I didn't even turn around to look. And the next thing you know, I said, whoa, my head feels really dizzy. Is it supposed to feel dizzy? Because I didn't even know he injected the medicine. And he goes, yes, that's why you don't do drugs unless you're in here. And then bam, I was out.
Yeah, and you want to know what the funniest thing? I didn't even tell you this yet. She put on like did Victor put that video on of you yesterday?
Yes.
Okay. Dad saw it, like I was watching it, and he goes, don't even like that because it looks like she's doing drugs and I don't like that. So he wouldn't even let me heart it on Instagram. I'm like, that's what everybody, after the medicine, he's like, no, I don't like that laugh and stuff. He said, do not heart it. So I was not allowed to, I didn't even know he knew, but he said, do not like that.
So yeah, that is crazy. That's like what you feel like when you're on drugs. You're like, everything is like very giggly.
And I think it just made Dad like feel some sort of way. Like he could not handle it.
Like his little girl was doing drugs.
He could not handle it. He was like, he didn't want to look at it again. He just told me not to like it. And then,
that's hilarious.
But anyways, so the girl that you said that took you back, is that the one that you said added you on Facebook?
Yeah, I told her to because she's a relative.
Yeah, but is that not crazy? Like Nicole's just telling me who it was because she added her and then I showed, and here it's her dad and my mom are first cousins. We don't really know her, and she's probably, I don't even know what the age of her. I'm going to say she
looked really young. She had a mask on, but she looked really young and had really good skin. So it reminded me of like you and her, I think, definitely have the same genes somewhere.
That's just funny.
And she's blonde, so you know what I mean. I don't know. She was so nice and like comforting. I was like, thank goodness, because I was so nervous. She's like called my name and I said, oh, you're lucky. I was about to run out the door.
And the funny thing is, Nicole, like the night before, she's like, I might back out because still of the breastfeeding thing, like have an Arrow ready. And she was going to back out the day before. And I was all for her. I was letting her. Victor did not let her. So she's probably happy. That's terrible of me as a mother. Yeah,
Mom's like, oh, you could back out. Are you in pain? I'm like, I'm in a little bit of pain, but it's not bad.
I said, maybe it'll go away. You'll be fine. And then she told Victor, I want to back out. And Victor's like, no. So Victor's a little bit better with that kind of stuff. And she said the doctor actually said to her, what do you say about 18?
Yeah, and it makes sense. I said, I've been canceling this appointment for 15 years. He goes, yeah, I mean, it would be better to do it on an 18-year-old than a 30-year-old because an 18-year-old recovers faster. And he's like, but a 30-year-old recovers faster than a 40-year-old, so you're here. So this is just like, if you're listening and you haven't got it out and you're younger, do it, because it is... You know what really gave me the courage was like, okay, I was cut open with a spinal, what's it called? I don't even know. Just my spine was numb, and I was cut open under the surgical table, staring at the lights with the C-section, cutting through my abdomen walls, my uterine walls, everything. That's insane. So that was like, I can handle this little 23-minute procedure. And now I feel silly that I was so scared. I would definitely be put under again. Like, it was so easy.
And it helped you that Jesse got it done a couple years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Jesse got it done 1 year ago.
Was it last year at this time?
Yeah, because it was Super Bowl. Yeah, so... And he did it, and he's like, it's not bad. And the fact that they say
it's Super Bowl again this weekend.
I know. So it's like literally a year in, because I remember making him soft foods that he could. I already dropped, I think this is insane. I've already dropped 4 pounds.
So maybe you already lost one the day before, or did you weigh yourself yesterday?
No, I didn't. But I mean, I weighed myself like not that long ago, and I feel like it's been, I was so hungry that... Like, I had all the physical, like right now I have a headache, I'm dizzy, I'm lightheaded, all the symptoms of like being really hungry. And then I ate oatmeal this morning, and my manager texted me and said, you're not supposed to eat oatmeal that can get in your pockets. I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like I know nothing because I was on drugs yesterday when they were telling me. But I have a paper I have to look at. But I feel fine. I'm on just doing ibuprofen, 600, and
I feel like actually, and Jesse is younger, and I actually feel like Jesse was a lot more swollen on the face than you are. Like, I can't
even like tell. I was going to take an Instagram pic today and like show my swollen face, but I was like, it's not even that swollen.
It just looks a tiny bit right here on that one.
And this side hurts bad.
That's the side it looks like it's swollen, but nothing like Jesse. She seems to be like, I don't think I could have got him. I remember the next day he was laying all over the couch and stuff.
Oh, he was down and out for like a long time.
It seemed like
But I'm still not going to count myself out because you can get dry sockets, you said, for a week after. So I got to be really smart. That's what it said when
I just looked it up. Okay, so now I got a funny Dave and Arrow story. A couple days ago, and I think I talked about it before, Arrow throws toys everywhere. Well, Dave they were at our house in the kitchen, and was it a ball that he threw? And there was a ball on the kitchen floor, and it was a tiny, tiny little ball. And I missed Dave stepping on it, but Nicole saw him, and he like stepped on it, and
he acted like it just like threw him so off balance. Like this was like this sharpest object, and he like he had a cup in his hand. He threw his, back really far back, and goes, "Oh my gosh, what was that?"
And he said, "Ow!" Yeah. Right? And he like was tripping.
It was a little bouncy ball that he stepped on from a machine.
And he's like, and then he went into the living room or whatever. Arrow started laughing so hard. So it was like, 5 minutes later, he walks into this kitchen in the exact spot that Dave stepped on something, pretended he stepped on something, and acted Dave out hilarious. Totally acted out, like threw his back out, threw his leg up in the air, and like started like hobbling like a little old man over to the couch. And he has done it probably because we laughed so hard at it that he thinks it's funny. I think he's done it 100 times since then, and it's so darn cute.
He did it this morning already again. He thinks it's so funny
because he thinks it's And
he's he could be a little actor 100%. If you just show him something, he'll do it over and over.
And I think he just, because he laughed at Dave and thought it was funny, like he thinks it's funny when grown-ups holler out. Like he really does think that. So like, because I've stepped on something before, but I don't think when I stepped in it, I didn't jump around like Dave did, No. So he just laughed at me and didn't imitate me. But Dave, the way he had his arms going and his legs, and he thought it was just hilarious.
It was very dramatic of my dad, but then it made it for the best because Arrow is so entertained by that now. And if he can make you laugh, Arrow will definitely try.
And I had him all day here yesterday while Nicole was down getting the surgery and doing all her stuff. And I literally had to take his socks off because he did it so many times that I was afraid he was going to actually fall, like throw himself back, because he exaggerated just like Dave does. And Dave looked like he was going to fall. So Arrow's throwing himself so hard that I had to take his socks off. I'm like, okay, I cannot be having him fall on the floor just because he's imitating Dave. It was pretty funny anyways.
He's so funny.
And the book I read, it was named The Last Thing He Told Me, but I forgot to look who it was by. Do you remember?
I can look really quick because it was on my Amazon.
Because people were wondering what it was. And I'm still waiting for my book. Somebody gave me a suggestion and I called my local library. They don't have it, but they can interloan it. And she said she should have it sometime. Her books come in, well, today's Tuesdays. I think she said Tuesday and Thursday. So I should get it.
Laura Dave.
What is it by?
Laura Dave.
Laura Dave. But that was what the book was called.
Number 1 New York Times bestseller, more than 2 million copies sold. So right now it's 50% off on Amazon. Normally $27. It's only $13.50.
But they can try to get it at their local library too.
Oh yeah, if they want to rent it for sure. Yeah, that's what I've been doing is renting books.
Because look, I read that in one day. And what would I want to do with that book? I would just donate it right after.
That's what I told you. I started buying them on Amazon that Reese Witherspoon said to like that were good. And then I was like, oh man, what am I going to do with all these? Yeah, makes sense. I rented a new one yesterday and I'm excited about it. This episode is brought to you by Green Chef. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well with dinners that work for you, not the other way around. So they have options for keto and paleo, vegan, vegetarian, fast and fit, Mediterranean, and gluten-free. And they're the only keto meal kit, which is super interesting. And it makes sticking to a carb-conscious lifestyle easy if that's something you want to do. Or maybe you want to just have USDA, like organic meats and veggies sent to your house. So it's very convenient and easy. It's a way to, also help the environment because it's sustainable. It's organic produce. There's premium proteins. And it's sustainably sourced ingredients. So you can raise your standards in 2023. And reap the flavor benefits. It's the only meal kit that is both carbon and plastic offset. So that's super cool. And so my mom and I, we tried a couple meals and we loved them. I think we have more coming. I'm going to try some vegan ones because I'm trying to really cut out meat in my diet. So you guys should definitely try them and let me know which ones are your favorite. So you go to greenchef.com/Coco60 and use code Coco60 to get 60% off plus free shipping. Go to greenchef.com/COCO60 and use code Coco60 to get 60% off plus free shipping. Thank you.
Okay, so we went. I did go ice fishing this weekend, and I survived. And oh my goodness, you scared me, you people. Whoever put that on our page that said that when you go out on the vehicle, I didn't tell you. Did you see that on there?
No.
It said now they know why there's a reason they say don't put your seatbelt on and keep your windows down. Do you get it? When you go on the ice,
so you can get out.
Yeah, so if you fall through the ice, you can get out. That scared me a little. Then they had a terrified little kid in the picture. Yeah, I was very scared. And the funniest thing, I can tell you how it all went. We got there and that morning, and it was still dark out. We got there, and the guide said he's going to take us out one at a time. He just had a 4-wheeler. His 4-wheeler broke down the day before, so he had to borrow one. So he had somebody else's. And he said I don't know if his is set up to take more people, but you have to wear a helmet. I didn't tell you that, did I?
No.
There must be like a law there. So anyways, he has one of the backrests on. So when I get on there, there's just room for me and him. And I said, it was dark and they want to take me first and leave me out a mile and a half on the ice. I was petrified.
Why do they want you to go first? That doesn't make any sense to me.
I have no idea. It's like, we'll get her out there first. To me out first. Because Jesse was still getting the stuff.
That's so weird.
I know. And I have to go where I'm very uncomfortable. I'm scared of the ice. I'm whatever. So I said, no, Dave's going to come too. He can squeeze. So I was already on there. So I said, Dave, just kind of sit on my lap. So the guy was not impressed with this whole thing, but I wanted Dave to sit so I didn't have to look at anything going out or whatever. So he's sitting on me. So him and the guy were basically both standing and it was going out there. And the funniest part is there's a ton of snow on the ice. Were you seeing that picture?
Yeah.
So it was bumpy.
Yeah.
So the 4-wheeler ride was really bumpy because we were pulling a sled with our bags in it too, like our cooler and that kind of stuff. So anytime he went off the tracks, I go, oh, ah! And he'd stop and he'd say, are you okay? It happened 2 or 3 times. And after that, he didn't ask me no more. He said, grab me if you need me to stop, basically, because it was that funny. And Dave didn't say nothing to me, but I would just let out my little, I said, just ignore me, let out my little yelp, because it was dark or whatever. And then, so we got dropped off first, and then he did bring Jesse and Ashley together too.
So did he have the huts were already ready to go out there, I'm assuming?
Yeah. So this is what else. So then he goes, get in, it's freezing, because it was so cold. Mm-hmm. And, he told me get in. So I get in and I just wanted to step over to the side, because I didn't know if he's coming in to show us what to do or whatever in this hut. And here he's like, no, not there. Go to the middle of the thing. And I was like, what? Because it's dark out. I can't see a single thing in there. Here he has 8 holes drilled in there. So in this hut, which he did have 2 huts, and he said we could each go in separate ones, but he never did put us in different ones. So there was 4 folding chairs. At that point, there was only 2. We had to go back up and get 2 more. I don't know. I think he was like, because of all his 4-wheeler breaking down, he had everything, he wasn't exactly ready. So anyways, there was 4 folding chairs at the end. So me and Dave sat back to back with Jesse and Ashley in 8 holes. So each of us had a hole to fish in. And then there was another hole the same size that he dropped because all 4 of us had a camera set up so we could see all the fish underneath, which was so awesome. It was so awesome. So there was 8 holes. So here I was stepping next to a hole, and the holes are big enough for your leg to definitely go all the way down. You're not going to fall through it, but it'd still be pretty scary and you'd be wet. So I got into the middle. He hooked a pole up for me and Dave. At that point, the cameras he couldn't hook the cameras up yet because it was still dark and you have to have light for them to work or whatever. So he just put us in there, told us to start fishing. He went back and got Jesse and Ashley. He came back. He set them up. By the time he had them set up, I think we pulled a couple fish in right away. And then after we got the couple fish, it was time for the cameras to be set up. So it was all in all such a fun day. We got to see a lot of fish. We caught a lot of fish.
You threw a lot back, you said? Yeah,
the smaller ones. And then he doesn't have you throw them back at first because it disrupts. So you kept them at first. And then, you can put them back into the water. We used minnows. It was the camera system. He was the nicest guide ever. I would suggest using him. He was a little bit stressed out because of the 4-wheeler situation. He had to actually keep it running. He had to get a new battery. The battery went dead on the one he borrowed. And he had to get a new one of those, and he had to keep it running all day because it was so cold there. So, he was a little bit stressed, but I couldn't have asked for a better time. It was awesome. Yeah. And then we had some exciting thing happen out there.
Yeah, you can tell him I wasn't there.
Jesse got engaged. He ended up proposing to Ashley out there, and it was quick. It was there's a bathroom there too. You have to go. He had another hut set up with a porta potty kind of thing in it, I think a camping toilet. I never went in there. I held it all day long. I never drank.
She never got up once. She was so scared to step in something. She wore something just in case. I think she peed her pants.
The one things Nicole advertised for.
Fit Fresh.
Just in case. Yeah, but I did not pee my pants.
No, I'm saying in case.
But we got out there at, 7? We got out there at 7 and we came back in at, did I tell you 3:30? And I did not, because it was starting to be blizzardy, so he wanted us to all go up at that time. Or the first one, I was the first one to go up. I went by myself that time. But anyways, I did not go to the bathroom. I did not drink one sip the entire time I was out there because I was scared. Ashley did go to the bathroom once, and she said I would do it again. She said,
you got to go somewhere.
Yeah, but she said it wasn't bad at all. She only had to go pee, but she said she would have even been comfortable if she had to go do the other thing on there. And so when she went to the bathroom once, Jesse ran back real quick and said, give me the ring. Where is it? And so he gave me no warning that it was going to happen. And he had a hook that said a fishing hook bait, and it said, will you marry me? And he said, give me the hook. So he's hurrying and trying to do this real quick in this 2 minutes. And then she I think she hollered. So he walked back with her and grabbed her to the bathroom. So here I thought he's going to put the hook in and wait till a fish comes on it and have her to try to get the fish off. I had no idea what the plan was. He literally put the hook on and handed her the pole and said, try this hook. That I don't even know if I told you that.
Oh, okay.
Try this hook. And she goes, no, I got him good right now. So she first dismissed him a couple times. And he's like, no, I really, really want you to try this hook. And then he had to kind of put it in her face. Then she's like, read it. And then she's like, oh, and I was taping it. I just turned backwards in my chair and I was taping it. And then I started crying. So I was wasn't sure if I got it good or whatever, because it was so quick. He immediately got down to his knee, gave her the ring. I was teared up. Then they were hugging and I love yous and all this stuff. And It was just, it was fast and,
cause he had kind of planned on doing it right, but you never know 100% for sure. So that's why I wanted to go.
Yeah,
I couldn't tell you guys
why Nicole
last week.
Wanted to go so bad.
That's why I wanted to go so bad, because I felt like, oh man, I really want to be there, but I just knew it was so hard. Like, we didn't even have enough room for us in the car that they were taking the truck they were taking down and everything. And plus Arrow, my mom said no, like after seeing it, like she would never let Arrow out there because the holes are as big as him. So that would have just been, that would have been too much. And I think it went down perfectly, and they called and told us right away, and we were able to talk to them, and then they went out for a really nice dinner, right?
Yeah, it was a very, very nice trip, and it was fun. I was way more fun. I think Dave was happy. Like, besides my little yelping on the way out, was so proud of me. He's like, you passed the test, you know. And actually, they had so much fun. Everybody wants to go again. And next time Nicole and them can go, and I can actually sit with Arrow. I wouldn't let them go out there. I could go hang out and do something. They could all experience it, because it was a lot of fun.
And Mom did eat a lot of fast food.
Yes, I did. But because
the dinner, they had McDonald's, and I said, what'd you have for breakfast? They had McDonald's, and then she sent me a picture of her eating Arby's. I think 3 out of 4 meals you ate fast food.
Because this is what happened. We drove down there. We didn't even stop once. We didn't even check into our hotel. The closest thing to the hotel you could see was a McDonald's. So we went in right before we checked, because we didn't leave till 6:00. So it was like almost, 11 o'clock?
Yeah, it was late.
It was late. So we went into the McDonald's and we got chicken nuggets. And then the next morning they have the continental breakfast there. It doesn't start till 7.
Oh.
We had to leave at 6. So the McDonald's is right there. So we just went to breakfast, grabbed McDonald's there, had to get coffee. And then
could you take your coffee out?
Oh, and then lunch was really good. He cooked us fish tacos with homemade coleslaw.
That's so cool.
But the coleslaw was in the you put the coleslaws in the tacos, all the
fish.
He
literally got a tent out there, and he cooks you lunch.
He had another tent out there that he cooked in, yes. He was an awesome guide, and it was an awesome experience. So he cooked us this amazing lunch, so that we had out there. And then we took our snacks and stuff, but with fishy hands, nobody was eating it. We only ate the lunch. Nobody else ate anything the entire time we were out there. And then we went out to a really nice dinner and got a bottle of wine, and they got a pitcher of beer and some good food, just like kind of celebrate a little bit. And then the next morning we did make the continental breakfast.
And then when was Arby's?
On the way home.
Oh.
Jesse wanted to stop a lot. I was not even hungry when they wanted to eat lunch. We had that continental breakfast right before we left, and it was like 3.5 hours later. He's like, I'm craving chicken nuggets again. And Ashley said, we are not going to McDonald's. He must have just like...
Well, the thing is you are supposed to eat like every 2 hours. You're supposed to eat something small. So not something small, but something like not a huge meal. So, I mean... And Dad gets real weird with me on trips when we go to Florida. I'm like hungry every 2 hours, but I'm doing this class and that's healthy. So I get that, but I was like mad that because she was doing so good. And then all of a sudden all this fast food, I was like, it's just hard. It's hard to turn down though. I understand.
But it was funny because I would have never asked for Arby's, and we passed it, and Ashley's like, your mom, I heard your mom say on the podcast before that she really likes Arby's and nobody will go there with her. I said, oh no, we don't got to go there. Nobody likes it. She goes, I do. So she did.
Nice.
So she said, I like
job,
it too.
Ashley.
So she said,
so everybody got something there?
So Jesse had to turn around. Yes, Dad got 2 fish sandwiches. Mm-hmm. I got the Arby beef and cheddar and jalapeno poppers. Jesse got chicken strips, and Ashley got a beef and cheddar and some curly fries, I think.
Nice. So, well, yeah, I'm not a fan of Arby's. I don't know why. I don't like, Mariah loves it. So the 2 closest people to me, which I probably said before, like that's their number 1 pick. And I'm like, ugh. But they never really make me go there. I mean, I can find something because they have turkey, and I guess for a while I was pescatarian I didn't know they had fish sandwiches, but I was pescatarian for a while, like 3 or 4 years. So that was really hard there. I think I did the jalapeno poppers, but I knew that wasn't like really healthy.
And I hardly ever eat there, and I would have been fine. I honestly probably, if they would have went somewhere like other than that, I might not have even ate because wasn't really hungry at that point.
I'm craving anything. Right now I would eat so much.
But since we went there, I did get the food, and it's the best when you eat it hot. So then I just ate it. And actually, the funny thing is how you talk about Dad. Dad was actually, he must have liked eating that much because, like, Ashley likes, like you, she likes to eat a breakfast, lunch, dinner. And he came home and he was hungry again. He said he wanted me to make him, I think, what did I make? Spaghetti that night.
Yeah, well, that's good because Dad can go work all day and only eat one meal at night, and it's not good for you.
Yeah, this morning here, I already made him eggs and toast. He's been hungry since then, so I think actually getting on a system when he's eating and hasn't.
They say that if you're not hungry, like in the morning or whatever, it's because you didn't listen to your body, and so now your body is just like it's not even going to give you hunger calls because it's like you don't listen. So it's like someone ignoring you constantly. So Mom, you weren't hungry in the morning. You're not really hungry in the morning, but it's because you trained your body to just like, I'm not going to answer you. So come back later starving. And then that's when you overeat. That's what I do anyways. That's what I used to do. I'm doing better.
Yeah.
I'm trying to intuitive
It is
eat.
harder for me to eat in the morning than any other time I do. I'm not really hungry, but going to Canada, I went before, but like this is, I think like 20 years ago. So this was the first time I'd been there in a long time. And the border, like I heard crossing was super easy and coming back was super easy. Just had to show our license, answer a couple questions, and that was it. We didn't get checked for anything or nothing like that. But the one thing that I like, differences are, as soon as we got up there, the gas prices were like, okay, $1 or something. And we're like, something's not right here. And here it's because they're in, I don't want to say it wrong.
Liters.
But I think it's in liters. Yeah. And then ours was, so that was different. And like when you pay, the prices seem high, like at McDonald's, like say it was $50 for the first day for something. But then when I look at my debit card, it's only like, it's less.
34 or something.
I don't know how much it is because I didn't look. But, just it was it's just the money difference. We did not get Canadian money. Jesse tried before he left to get Canadian money, but none of the banks up here had any. They said to get it at the duty station, and then we did not stop.
Victor said sometimes they charge it on your credit card. Did you notice that at all? I didn't even tell you because it was already done anyway.
Charge what?
Like a transaction fee or something?
I just seen like McDonald's, and then it just had... unless it's in there. Like I used my debit card the whole time, and it's like I don't know. Because,
I used mine
because when I looked at the receipt, it's way more than than what they charge. So I didn't know. Even when we ate at the nice restaurant, I didn't even know how tipping came. So I asked her. I'm like, how do you because on her card thing, like what do you do for your percents here and that kind of stuff. I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't like higher up than what ours is. And she actually said 15. I'm like, oh, well, we do 20, so I'll just do 20 still. But I just wanted to make sure, like, it wasn't because it was lower.
You didn't want to accidentally short her on something.
So I just asked her, like, how does it work here and that kind of stuff. And the one thing that I did that I thought was really the strangest, and I don't know if it was just that day or on the highway we were on, but there was a part where there was a ton of snow, and it lasted about 45 minutes, and I don't know how many miles it was because everybody was literally going like 30 miles an hour, which actually I don't know what it was, if it was the kilometers, 20 to 30, but it was like we were going so slow. You couldn't even move, and we were in that weather for about 45 minutes, and during that time, like a lot of, you could see perfectly, like, the roads were definitely icy, but you could see like the snow wasn't on the wind. You didn't have to have your wipers on or anything like that. And like probably 60% of the vehicles that we were by had their emergency lights on, and it was dark out. So that was really hurting my eyes. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if that's a Canadian thing or if it was just there, or if it's because it's icy. I've never seen that like that. Not so many vehicles with it, but it was really, really hard to have to drive. And Jesse said he had to get out of the lane he was in because the ones was so blinky in front of him, and move to a different lane that didn't have somebody in front of us that, after following so long. But there were so many, and there were so many semis. The semis did not have them on, but a lot of cars did. So I didn't know if you're from Canada, is that like normal when there's ice on the road, or to have the emergency lights going like that or not. But everybody was so friendly.
Yeah, everyone's so nice in Canada. Like, they're the nicest people. So friendly.
Oh, my gosh. Like, even in the morning when we had that breakfast at the McDonald's, a guy came and sat right next to us and talked the entire time he's getting up and showing us pictures of his family and fish he caught and stuff like that.
They're so nice.
And, they're very, very friendly people.
I feel like their Midwest people, I think, are really nice, too. And so I think it, like, luckily, it trails down to us, I guess, because... You know, I just think that they're really, really kind, and they're known for being really kind. But I also think Midwest people are nice too.
And the people thought we had an accent. So the really? Canadians thought we had an accent, yes.
And then some people think we have a Canadian accent, but they can tell a difference.
They're like, they knew where we were from. They like the people that we sat next to at the restaurant, because it was a long table where all the tables were hooked, and the people that came and sat and we talked to for quite a while at the end, they knew right where we were from.
I wish you could hear your accent through someone else's, ears, just to see. You know what I mean?
Yes, it was. But well, what else did I have to talk about?
I don't know, but I got to eat something soon. My palms are really sweaty. I'm starting to not feel good.
Oh, I bought myself some flowers for Valentine's Day. I'll have to take a picture and put them up. Dave always likes to get me yellow roses, and I do not like to waste money on roses because they don't last very long. So I went to Marshall's and I bought this glass vase with water in it, but it's like fake water, and with fake yellow roses. And I paid, how much did I pay for this? $34.99, and it's very pretty, isn't it?
It's so pretty. I was like, man, I should have got one, but I said I could just, if you get sick of it, it's so pretty. I mean, it looks really real.
So I told Dave, I said, now you do not have to get me any flowers for Valentine's Day. I covered myself, and for the next whole bunch of holidays, when he decides he wants to get me yellow roses, I might put this away and he can come put it on the table, and then he's like, be like, I'm thinking of you, here's your yellow roses, I would have bought you some. And I thought that was a good idea because it would save us money, and
they are just really pretty,
and then I have them.
They look pretty realistic.
But we can let you go so she can get something to eat,
or you can talk more. But yeah, I'm like starting to feel it's weird, like not eating. I'm a person that I get really like jittery after a couple hours. My palms are sweating right now. I feel like lightheaded.
What are you going to eat?
Soup, broth. I don't know. I can only really eat broth. I got to eat something. But
what about like tomato basil, or are you going to just have chicken?
No, I can have. Do you have tomato soup? I didn't bring it.
I probably do. See, she came for me to babysit her so I can make her some soup. Oh, yesterday, can you eat cheddar broccoli? I have it all made and it's in the fridge.
Because it has chunks.
It has little tiny fine pieces, but
no.
I did make cheddar broccoli yesterday.
But okay, yeah, we'll catch up with you later.
I'm gonna go take care of my baby. So everybody have a good week.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.